Yo, what's up? It's Marwin. Today I'm making fried beef tacos. I'm getting crazy with it. Beef for me is beef neck bones. That's the beef of choice, but you can definitely use other beef cuts, oxtail, beef short ribs, ground beef, whatever. This is a technique-driven recipe that really kind of works for any protein or vegetable for that matter. All you need is a good melting cheese and your protein of choice in the middle. So I start with the neck bones. You can get the recipe for braised beef neck bones at the end. If you stick around, I'll leave a link to it. Otherwise, I'll put it in the description. But the formula is cheese topped with beef, topped with cheese again, closed and fried in a skillet. You'll probably need to add a little pressure. You're gonna go 1 minute per side. For pressure, you can use a smaller plate or the flat side of a smaller skillet or pan. But this is it. For toppings, we want to wait and add those after the fry. It gets a little messy. Plus, it's just a little awkward cooking with those ingredients in there. So you want it to just really be about the cheese and the beef. Again, about 1 minute per side, give or take a few minutes. You know, you can peek, here and there to check it out, see what kind of browning you're getting on those tacos. That's it. Use whatever toppings you prefer. For me, I like red onions here along with a red salsa. And then for a little bit of crunch, I'm going to add some pork crackling. That's old school. I wanted the texture, I wanted the crunch to kind of go with the tender beef, and that's what works for me. And I'm serving these up with some rice and beans. Really, really simple. And I'm just gonna enjoy these tacos. May have a beer or a soda, but hey, you do whatever you do and go from there. As you can see, this is a pretty simple recipe. Doesn't require a lot of thinking, a lot of work, and you're gonna enjoy these. So much flavor here. So let's talk about some of the key takeaways from the video. One, cheese matters. You want to choose a good melting cheese. I use Monterey Jack. Kobe Jack works well. Straight up sharp cheddar works well. Or if you want to go with some of the fancier cheese, you can do that, like a Pecorino Romano or even a Brie, but that's going to be a very different taste profile, and it kind of defeats the idea of having a cheat meal, thinking about neck bones plus tacos. For your taco shell, I prefer a flour tortilla for this dish, just kind of given the way it will fry and the texture that you're going to use. What else? Last thing I would say is, for your toppings, you really want to add your toppings after you fry the tacos for a lot of different reasons, but mainly it just becomes a lot more difficult, a lot more messy when you try to add those things up front and you're pressing down on the tacos. And so add that late, you'll get better texture, better eating experience, and visually it just looks better. So the song choice or pairing for this dish is Ain't I Been Good to You by the Isley Brothers. It's a heartfelt, passionate, song. So if you think about the vocals, if you think about Ernie Isley's guitar playing with that funk riff he goes on, it's a slow burn, it's, powerful. You can tell it's deeply felt. And I think these bones, neck bones, it's a long-lasting, evergreen, always available, always used, paid dues kind of ingredient, not a flash in the pan kind of trendy kind of vibe. And so it's definitely a slow cook, slow burn kind of ingredient. And it's funky, it's fun, it's powerful, like all of these things that kind of remind you of the song when you hear it. So check out the reel to get a sense of like how the song and the recipe are just a match made in heaven. As always, if you like the dish, if you're digging the dish, hit that red subscribe button. You get updates to your inbox weekly. And also, leave a comment if you make it or if you have thoughts about it. Love to hear from you. Peace out. Till next time.